Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. We are so excited to welcome British-American pop artist to the show. Russell Young is in the house helping us welcome the summer solstice with Midsummer Night's Dream. Thank you so much for being with us today, Russell.
Thank you for inviting me.
I have to say, I find your art so incredibly inspiring. It's just right next door at this super cool art gallery, Art Angels. And it's just, honestly, it emotes something every time I see it.
So true.
Is it true that you have Warhol's old press?
I work with that with my master printer in New York.
That's
The diamond dust screen prints I work on. It's a lot of good juju, and I have some of his diamond dust as well. So that gets sprinkled on stuff as well, yeah.
How did that come about?
It just happened that my master printer was able to, he was given the press by his former sort of, the person he worked for. So yeah, it just landed in our laps.
Divinely.
We know that, you're very well known for these large scale, silk screen of cultural icons, right?
Yes,
especially the
absolutely.
Marilyn Monroe. That one's my favorite. Tell us about that series.
Well, Marilyn crying, I just loved the duality there. Here's this great icon caught in this most vulnerable moment. She's come out from the divorce with Joe DiMaggio, and this paparazzi shot has just caught her, and I've blown it up and put all these heavy dots on it and put the diamond dust. So I love the sort of fame-shame thing, where there are famous people and there are these understories as well.
What was your journey, though, to becoming a fine artist?
I was a photographer and directed 100 music videos right in the heyday of MTV. So I photographed Springsteen and Dylan. I did George Michael's Faith Sleeve, worked with Morrissey, so I had this incredibly rich photographic career, which then it was a natural step to do a photographic process like screen printing.
When did you first discover your love for photography?
8 years old.
8 years old.
Wow.
Took a photograph of a bird out my bedroom window on the lawn, got the film back, and it was almost black, and the bird was this big. And I'm like, oh, I have to get closer to the bird. So that started.
Yes.
Now I look back on it, it's a really cool dark picture. But
Oh, that's
What is
amazing.
your message with your work?
oh, it's just love of life, love of celebrity, and really understanding that, celebrity is a ridiculous thing. Being 15 years in the music business, you see one side of the camera, then you see the tragedy the other side. So again, it's that fame-shame thing. I love the duality of that.
Yeah.
But, at the moment, I'm cutting myself off from the world, which is really good. So
What do you mean by that?
so I'm not, I stopped 18 months ago. I got so sick of the news on both sides and this quick news cycle. 18 months ago, I was in my master printer studio in New York, and I decided not to look at the news or go searching any news, not even local news. So I don't know what's happened in the world in the last 18 months.
You haven't missed anything.
No. and please don't tell me his name, but I've forgotten the name of the vice president. It's actually gone out of my head.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. So then that gives you time to think. It allows you to go to studio. I don't take a phone. I don't have cameras. I have an old record player in there, vinyl.
Wow.
And you sit, you get bored, and you come through things. I go at night, 3 in the morning, and I swim a mile out in the ocean and float for 20 minutes. I go for 24 hours and hike up in the mountains where the bears and mountain lions, and on the full moons, I sleep under freeways that are by the ocean. And all this time you get from not chasing the news, and there's nothing I can do about it. I live up near Santa Barbara, and if there's a big orange flash that's down here or up in San Francisco, there's nothing I could have done about that. But I can make myself a better person by getting into myself, and I'm sort of inviting you, if you want, to come swim out with me at night, and come float, and just get away from it, just get away from all the...
Sounds so good.
I love what you're saying here.
Yeah, no, I think that your art represents the paradox of life, really.
Yeah.
And it is funny because everyone's looking for that shiny object, that celebrity. And I witnessed that, where we're here, we're doing a mission, but at the same time we sacrifice that connection.
Yeah.
That connection that really can't be had until you go solo out and mother.
And artists need to stand alone, and they need to get bored. And I go out to the deserts, I drive across the country, and you get yourself into some situations, but your resources get you out. And I like to sleep rough. I built my own house, and one of my kids said to me, he said, "Dad, look, you got this really nice bed and a really nice house." I'm like, "Why'd you sleep under the freeway on cardboard?" You know, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel so in contact with, you know, like another side of me."
So you went and slept under the freeway?
Yeah, I sleep on but it's right by the ocean. So I go in the storms, and so the rain's coming in. The ocean's literally 20 feet away from me on this one freeway exit. So
Really an
You are
artist through and
true
through.
artist.
I'm not quite that much of an artist. Let's talk about
Real sacrificing for your art.
Yeah, let's talk about the abstract Midsummer's Night's Dream and the exhibit you have happening at Art Angels.
yeah, so that came from really deep inside of me, but it wouldn't have come without checking out of the world. And within it, I'm throwing paint on the floor and I'm pushing the canvas down on it. I'm walking, dancing on the back of the canvas, and it's leaving this imprint. And they look like ferns or corals. They look like deltas from above. And then I'm pushing the canvas against the wall, and I'm making marks, which is the shape of my body. I'm again dancing, all my parts of my body. I'm sort of like almost making love to the thing, crawling down it, and I'm just throwing everything in. It's action painting. It's really action
So
painting.
what emotions are you pulling from when you're doing these action
You know what? I make the first mark and then I forget about everything else. And I think it's the floating out in the ocean that I see, because when you float for 20 minutes, when you come upright, you sink. You can't help but sink, and you have to give yourself permission to sink, and then you rise up again. And it's that feeling of just being
surrendering.
weightlessness. Yeah, yeah.
So do you mind if I ask you a personal question? Because a lot of artists do drugs to get there.
Yeah.
The way you're talking about this, the way you're describing, a lot of artists will, become addicts because they have to get into the state to get to where you are. What's that been like for you, sober or not sober? I'm just curious.
Sober. I'm going through a period of not drinking at the moment. I mean, do I have a beer or a glass of wine most nights like everybody else in this world?
But not very many artists can do that sober. They need to.
No.
Yeah.
No. But
That's good. I like that.
It's incredible to me both how creative you are and how talented you are, and also how you've had this great business mind for it as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like, how do you, for folks out there who find themselves wanting to be creative and they've got something they're talented at, how do they turn it into a business?
You just have to do what you love.
Yeah.
Everything else will come if that's what you want. You just have to do what you want. I used to think I was the best businessman. I'm the terrible businessman. I'm adopted, and my father was a great businessman, so I'd sit in his office and I thought I gained all of this, but a few hard lessons over the last 20 years, I realized I am a terrible businessman.
So how long will your art be at Art Angels?
It's up for about another week until I think the 6th or 7th of July.
And then what's next for you?
I've just literally finished a series called The West, which has been a 5-year project. It's Hell's Angels, it's Surfer Girls, it's these beautiful old photographs from the 70s from Hawaii, it's flora, it's fauna, it's Native American Indians, it's the original Life magazine cover of the cowboy that then Marlboro got inspired to do the cowboy. So it's these real cowboys. It's this whole mixture of sort of masculine and feminine characters that weave into each other, and all the stories, all the sad stories as well as the optimistic stories.
So great.
I love that, and I so deeply appreciate your art. Thank you, Russell.
Thank
Please
you.
tell everyone where they can find and follow you online and on Instagram.
RussellYoung.com and Bank Robber California on Instagram. That's the name of the company I pay my taxes through, is Bank Robber.
And big shout out to the studio next door, Art Angels, incredible.
Yes.
And the art that they have, the artists are, it's really
Yes.
amazing.
If you want to see Midsummer Night's Dream, it is at Art Angels for the next week on Beverly Boulevard in West Hollywood, California. We are Good Morning LaLa Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday. All of today's interviews are available as a podcast on iTunes, and the whole show is streaming on EverTalk TV, available on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. We're waking up the world together on Transformation Tuesday. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and please like, share, check out some good art. Have a great one.
It's going to be a good morning, LaLa Land.